Hello, it's Jimmy here. The O'Reilly's just pulled up here is a Mercedes E-Class. This one is a V6 CDI 3.0 litre diesel. So the customer's already popped the bonnet here. It's just a last minute job here. Wasn't really booked in, so just gonna try and have a quick look over it. What's happened here is it's had the DPF cleaned and they couldn't reset the light, so it's went to somebody else and they tried to do a forced regeneration a couple of times and it was not successful. So basically he said the last garage was a little bit stumped and they didn't know what to do, so here he is. I'm gonna have a look at it. So I'm using a King Bowling K10 scan tool. Put a link to that in the video description. Gonna do a diagnostic scan here of the car. Okay, if we go down to engine ECM here. Okay, so now if we read the fault codes, we have a code of 129700, particle filter defective, so that could mean the DPF's cracked. Plausibility due to defective exhaust gas pressure lines between the particle filter and the pressure sensor. Okay, so that means the hoses that go to the pressure sensor could be split because there's a plausibility, so it means that the pressure is not right. Soot content, DPF blockage, basically the lower limit of the B28 DPF differential pressure sensor has not been reached. Differential pressure sensor has a plausibility error again. So we've got all of these codes. Right, we're going to go to data stream, find exhaust gas differential pressure, exhaust back pressure sensor, and do the engine speed. Okay, we'll start the engine. Okay, so you can see there's an issue already. We've got 20 millibars of pressure with the engine off, so that's not correct. So looks like that sensor is not working properly. Start it up. So we still have 20 millibars of pressure. If we increase the engine RPM, okay, so that's definitely not moving there, this one. So that sensor is defective. Okay, I'm going to get the engine cover off here. Take that up. Okay, now I've got the diagnostic machine outside here so I can check it for reference. I've never really seen the tubes on these split, but it is possible, of course. They look fine from here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to swap over this sensor. Let's just see if I can get that off. There we go. That's the plug off of that. So I'm going to use a multimeter here to test the wiring of the plug. Just try and find a nice earth somewhere, and we'll see if we should have two live feeds here, as well as an earth in the middle there. Right, let's check that. 5 volts, and then we'll check the second pin over here. Oh yeah, see these Mercedes, they won't give you a voltage on the signal wire without the sensor being connected. Do a continuity test on the earth. Yep, that's working. So middle pin is earth. This is your main live feed, and then the signal wire over here. Gonna hook back up a sensor to it. Okay, so I've got a replacement sensor here. Hooked it up. We can see there straight away that the live data has dropped down to 1 HPA. Now if we check the feed on these wires here again, try and get in here with a back probe if we can. Okay, so we can see there now we have voltage on both sides. We have live feed and signal wire, and we can see that the sensor is now working now that we've replaced it with a working one. So now I'm going to access that sensor a little bit better by removing the air filter box here. get these clips off. That one's a little bit tight, and then we have a couple of T30 bolts down in here, one on each side over here. Okay, now I've used a pair of these pliers to open the clamps that hold the sensor together. Now we've got here a 10mm bolt that's just holding the sensor mounted to this bracket here. Okay, so now we've pulled the sensor out of the hoses there. Okay, now temporarily connect up the new sensor that we've got there, and if we look at the live data here now, we can see that the data is moving for that sensor, and we have a confirmed 118 millibars of pressure at idle, so the DPF is quite blocked. Just hoping that we're going to be able to clean that, and we have to hope that it's not damaged basically. So 3000 RPM, we have 980 millibars of pressure, very high. You can see there it's almost going to 1000 millibars of pressure. It's gone over 1000. Let it idle down again. We've got like 158 millibars of pressure. Okay, so now as always I'm going to use my Launch UK DPF cleaning fluid. I'll put the link where you can buy this kit in the video description. It comes, you can buy the gun and the fluid separately. Obviously that comes with an attachment there that you can spray it out. It connects up to a compressor, and I'm going to show you how to do that now in just a second. So I'm going to put half of this bottle into the cup here. Then we just add a little bit of water to get it to oxidize. So now if we just disconnect one side of the sensor, we're going to go down the bigger holes here. We've got one hose that's smaller diameter and one that's a larger diameter over here. We're going to connect our cone in there, and then we can squeeze the trigger of our DPF cleaning gun. Squeeze the fluid in. That's going to spray that fluid in as a foam, so it doesn't go in as a like a water substance basically. It foams it up, so it expands everywhere between the DPF. That's connected to the compressor at 130 psi. Just hold the trigger now until all the fluid's gone. It's going to push its way down through the DPF in through the honeycomb system. One answer I'm going to answer on this question, if anyone is looking for this answer, I get asked it a lot: can they use this DPF cleaning fluid without the gun? Now of course you can use it without the gun, but it's not going to be as successful whatsoever, because this gun is what makes it foam up, and without the foam you're just putting in a straightforward liquid, which isn't going to work as well. Now I'll give that a couple of minutes to rest in the DPF before I start the engine up. Now I've put half of the bottle in, we start the engine up, and I'm going to empty the rest of the contents while the engine's running. Okay, now I've disconnected that. We'll just give that a minute to make sure that we're not getting any more fluid come up through the pipe, and then we can connect back our DPF pressure sensor straight to that hose. Need to get it in level so we can push it down. Now we come back inside. I'm going to hold the revs back up at around about 3000 RPM again. You can see there the pressure has halved so far. Oh, I've gone back. Meant to just press the graph there, don't know what happened. Sorry, it's not focusing. It's getting dark, which is not helping. Okay, I got that up on a graph there, which is a little bit more better to see. So you can see there we had 1010 millibars of pressure. Now we're down to 120, so we're looking good so far. The engine's been running less than a minute, so good results. can see there now it's starting to even out. Let's let that idle down, see where we are. We have 12 millibars of pressure. Ideally I'd like to see that around about 2 to 5 millibars of pressure. Okay, now we're close enough where we need to be. I've got the engine off, so we've got 0 pressure at the DPF pressure sensor there. What I'm going to do now is go back to special functions on this tool, and we just need to do a few resets of the system. So first we'll do drift compensation reset. Press F3. Now we're in at the DPF pressure, do the pressure sensor. And we'll calibrate that new sensor in. Now we're going to do replace component of the particle filter. This is to reset the fault codes. Okay, we'll do that again. We need to do it with the engine running this time. Communication error. Let's try that again. Okay, communication error again. Okay, so I'm going to use the Launch UK Euro Tab 3 now, try this, and hopefully we'll have some better success. Diesel particle filter. Replace the particle filter component. Okay, yeah, we've got the engine on. Combustion engine at standstill. Okay, we'll do that. Something happened again there. I think it's when I turned the ignition off, we lost communication there. Okay, we'll try that again. F3 to start. Yeah, it says that's successful. Okay, so that looks like it's successful. We'll go back. Okay, now that that's successful, we can clear the fault codes. There you go. So it just shows just the difference with this tool and the other one. The King Bolin uses launch software, but obviously this is a UK tool. So it's not from Amazon or anything like that, it's from launchtech.co.uk, so these just tend to be a little bit more reliable with UK vehicles. So now with the engine running, all of the error lights are gone. And then we just confirm that all of the codes are gone as well. Take the car on a 10-mile test drive, 5 to 10 miles. Okay, so just finished the test drive. We have 8 millibars of pressure at idle, and we have 80 to 85 millibars of pressure at up around 3000 RPM. Come back on the scan code and check, make sure that they're all cleared, which they are, and then we can be finished. Okay, yeah, there's a customer. He's just going to the cash machine there for me. Quick little word about the car is, funny enough, I didn't have this booked in. I was on my way home. He called me, you know, he said he was local to the area, and I just popped by on the way home, and I've sorted this car out in I don't know, an hour and a half. The customer himself has said he's been having this problem over a year. It's been to a few different garages. He's been over a year trying to get it resolved, and no one's been successful with doing it. So I'm sure he's going to be pretty happy with the results here, and we're all finished really. And well, before I go, what I will say is this is the tablet that done it. This is from launchtech.co.uk, my tab 3. Now of course I do use a couple other tools in there. I've just been playing around with the King Bolin K10 just to see what it can do. That tool, I'll put a link to both of these in the video description. Now of course, like any launch product, this one is the Launch UK product, so it's not from Amazon basically, which makes it a little bit more reliable. The problem with this is it uses launch software, but it's obviously from Amazon, so comes directly from China. This is from Launch UK. So if you buy a tool from Amazon, this is the difference that you get. They will do the same job, but you will come across little issues like this here and there where it doesn't seem to connect properly, where the UK tool seems to be a little bit more reliable. Now of course, at the moment, not that I know of, King Bolin don't have a UK distributor. They just have the China stuff. So I'll put the link for that tool where you can buy that. It is still a good tool, but obviously not everybody can afford the Tab 3, but if you are a professional, then the UK model Tab 3 is the one to go for. Launch UK also do sell a lot of cheaper tools. I'm waiting to get hold of one of their new models, which I'm a little bit excited to see, is the I think it's the Euro 4 or the MOT 4, which is around about the same price as this one. It's about £800, but of course it comes from launchtech.co.uk, so I'm hoping it's going to be a little bit more reliable than that, and hopefully I can get my hands on that tool pretty soon and we can compare them. So that's it, we're pretty much finished here on the Mercedes, and I'll see you in the next video.